Hey, welcome back to Life on the Wrist. So I was watching Federico Talks Watches, and he had created a video about 5 watch guys he would love to have a drink with. And I thought this was a really cool idea, so I am going to be creating my own variation of his idea. So thank you, Fed, for a really excellent idea. I hope maybe if you end up watching this, I think we have a few in common, or at least a few themes that are in common, so that's really cool. But thank you for the video idea. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link in the description to Federico's original video where he talks about the 5 watch guys he'd be interested in having a drink with. Just to kind of explain it, he chose 5 people that are within the watch community, and it doesn't have to be necessarily dealers or specific to people on Instagram, or specific to any type of kind of niche within the watch community. It's just 5 people that he thought would be a very interesting time to spend with them and talk about watches and just have a good time. So I'm going to go over 5 people that I thought I would want to have dinner or get drinks with within the watch community. And I would love to hear what you guys think about my 5, and then obviously I'd love to hear what your 5 would end up being. But before we get into that, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button for us. It really does help us out. Also, if you are new to the channel, we create videos about watches, just about anything that you can think of within the watch community. So if you do like those types of videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. So getting into the 5 individuals that I would want to get a drink with or get dinner with. The first one is Mirko Salvati. He is a watch guy based in Milan. He's actually someone who was quite influential in getting me into watches. He got me into the blue Rolex Submariner. He owned one and posted on Instagram, so I just kind of fell in love with a watch from his posts. That's what kind of led me to looking for watches with blue dials, and that's why I ended up buying this memo sale that I am wearing right now. Mirko has his own Instagram. It's Mirko1704, but he also has a watch company called Watch M Diamond, which he sells modern and vintage watches. So if you don't know about that, about his store, be sure to check it out on Instagram and online. They source some really excellent pieces, a lot of Patek Philippe's, a lot of Rolexes. The Patek Philippe's he gets absolutely insane Nautiluses and the like. So I think he would be an interesting guy to talk to from a retail perspective, but also it just looks like he, dresses very nicely. He probably can give, some really interesting perspectives on that as well. And, I'm sure it'd be fun to have a drink with him for sure, because, based on, at least from what's on his Instagram, he looks like a really fun guy. So Mirko Salvati was the first one. The second is Ben Clymer. Probably, as you would have guessed, he is in my top 5 list. I believe he was in Federico's top 5 as well. Ben Clymer's the founder of Hodinkee, which recently celebrated their 10-year anniversary, and I think Ben is the perfect person to get drinks with, because he really is the pioneer of the watch community. And before Hodinkee, watches were kind of a not a mainstream thing that is covered within news or on Instagram or anything like that. Ben Clymer, after creating Hodinkee, has really created a huge environment. I kind of want to just say thanks to him for, spurring on the movement towards having watches be a little bit more mainstream, but also to thank him for kind of creating passion around watches. And I know that a lot of the times people got into the hobby because of what Hodinkee had done, and I just want to be able to say thank you and buy him a drink and definitely hear about his stories, because he's got some, I think, if there's one person who has a lot of watch stories, I think it's going to be him. So, and I'll probably end up meeting some very interesting people who are with him. So, Jack Forster or Waco, or I don't know, you end up meeting mutual people through these individuals. And I think these 5 allow you to kind of see those individuals. So Ben Clymer is my second pick. My third pick, and you probably, when you clicked on this video, if you have been following us for a little while, you probably could have guessed it. My third pick is Max Buza from MB&F. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, I am one of the biggest fans of MB&F. MB&F creates horological pieces of art, but they're very interesting designs that come out of it. and Max Büser is the founder of MB&F, and I think it would be an absolute honor to be able to sit with him and hear about his watch philosophies, look at his watch collection, just talk watches with him, because he's such an interesting individual. He's based in Dubai, and obviously Dubai is a great place for watches as well. One of my goals is to be able to buy an MB&F LM Legacy Machine #1 or 101. I'm not really sure which one yet, but it would be awesome to be able to talk to him and thank him for creating such amazing pieces. He's also got really interesting background when it comes to the companies that he had worked for previously, so that would be a very interesting conversation as well. I also just want to thank him for creating some absolutely beautiful pieces, and just thank his imagination for the designs that he's coming up with. MB&F is, I think, they continue to move watchmaking forward. Being they are an independent company, they kind of are able to push the boundaries a little bit, and that forward movement, which is often not seen within the watch industry, is something that I appreciate. So it'd be great to have a drink or dinner with the founder of my favorite watch company. So Max Büser is my third. The fourth individual that I would love to get a drink with or get dinner with is Auro Montanari, also known as John Goldberger. John Goldberger, or Auro, he is, when it comes to my collecting philosophy and just the way in which I think about watches, he is at the top of the list when it comes to people who I look up to. Auro is a author. He writes a lot of books about watches, and that's kind of his main thing, but he also has a fabulous collection. If you haven't seen his Talking Watches, be sure to check it out on Hodinkee, because if you listen to the way he talks about watches, I think that kind of gives you a little bit of inspiration on the way in which you want to create your watch collection. So Auro is definitely someone I would love to meet and have a drink with. I think he realizes, and he has a very good eye for value within watches, but he also isn't so siloed into one specific type of watch. Obviously, he is a vintage watch collector, but you can see him wearing 30mm watches, but you can also see him wearing a little larger sporty chronographs, and I think it's just, for him, it's finding what he loves, obviously, but also where there's value, where a watch that speaks to him, and it's not just from one specific niche. Many different types of watches speak to him, and I would love to gain any insight that I possibly can from him on what he's interested in right now, what does he think is gonna fall on the wayside, or anything from him would be a very interesting conversation. So John Goldberger, or Auro Montanari, is my fourth pick. And my last pick, and this was honestly, picking 5 people to go and have drinks with or get dinner with within the watch community is extremely hard. I'll probably end up making a follow-up because there are so many people that I probably have left off of this list. But my 5th pick is Auro Box. If you don't know, Auro Box is an auctioneer and has been involved in many of the auctions, many historic auctions like Paul Newman's Daytona, John Goldberger's Daytona, the white gold Daytona. I think Auro Box was involved in that. But Auro Box has seen so many examples of extremely rare watches that end up selling at auction, and I think the insight that he could provide on what makes a watch of quality and where his watch collecting kind of lands, and hearing his stories behind, I can just imagine him meeting some very interesting individuals through the auction world, and I think that would obviously lead to perhaps further discussions with other watch people that he could introduce me to. So I with these 5, I tried to pick people from different parts of the watch community, and I think I did an okay job. But Auro Box, I think, will provide great insight on things like the vintage watch market and quality and rarity and those types of things when it comes to vintage watches. So he is for sure my number 5. Like I said, I tried to vary it enough so that I could get a taste from different places, and hopefully these these potential dinners or drinks, or these drinks that I would love to have, will lead to future interactions with people that they interact with on a daily basis or a weekly basis. So just to recap really quick, the 5 are Mirko Salvati, Ben Clymer, Max Büser, Auro Montanari or John Goldberger, and Auro Box. I think you know, if I could get all 5 of these individuals together, I think that would be a very interesting experience as well. And I think it would be a great time. We'd probably have to pick a city, which would be a difficult choice because everyone lives in so many different places. But I think it would be a great night out with these 5 individuals. So let me know what you think about my 5. Be sure to let me know who your 5 individuals are in the comment section below. And if you haven't already and you made it this far, be sure to give us a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. And with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.